couple minutes here. Fire away when you guys have a chance.
Brian, something that's been kind of cool for you to do when you've gone to Impact and kind of gone out to WWE and everything like that, kind of like create more of your own identity and things like that. And something that you do very well, I think, too, is balance comedy with, like, when you got to get serious, you get serious. What's something that you kind of want to cultivate more, being on the independent scene and like just making more of a name for yourself that you haven't really gotten to do yet?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm having the best time of my career. Like you said, you know, I've been given these opportunities in Impact to show a side of myself that I've been wanting to do for years. You know, like I'm in my 18th year of doing this, so I'm a pretty polished pro wrestler at this point. And wrestling's all about opportunity. You know, you could be the best wrestler in the world, but if no one's giving you the opportunities to showcase that, it's pointless. You know. So I've been really fortunate with Impact Wrestling, and I'm having a great time and doing indies here and there, and being very busy with the Major Wrestling Figure podcast. So I'm just a really good place. I'm so happy about my career right now. You know, I get to spend time with my girls at home, with my family. Like, I'm a happy dude.
Cool, man.
Chris Killing with comicbook.com. So there's a lot of biopics in the work right now for wrestlers. You know, there's Chris Hemsworth playing Hulk Hogan possibly, and Bradley Cooper playing Vince McMahon. Let's argue that Brian Myers makes his way into a biopic. Who would you want to play you?
Well, one, my story's still being written, so that'd be a very boring movie. Or at least there'd be no ending at this point. Or I don't know. Great question. I have to think about it. I guess Bradley Cooper is off the table, but that would be the first one that comes to mind for me.
I see the resemblance.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
We know you're a big sports fan too. How has sports kind of incorporated your, like, balanced out your wrestling?
So I don't think it's like the be all end all to be involved in sports and then pro wrestling. I think it helps. Like, I run a wrestling school, obviously, so sometimes people, you know, if they're an amateur wrestler, it's almost like throws them off because you're so guarded and you need to be very giving in pro wrestling and loose. So sometimes it's almost like detrimental. What I do think helps, and I don't know where I saw this, but when I was a kid, you know, obsessed with wrestling like I still am now, I read something where Bret Hart said, you know, don't backyard wrestle, like, get involved in sports. That will prepare you more for what you want to do. And I took that to heart for a reason. I did football, wrestling, baseball, and what it gave me is just that mindset of being dedicated to something, applying yourself, and I think that's ultimately what's important.
Brian, you've talked about working on the indies. Is there any specific indie promotion that you really want to work for?
To be honest, not really. I've done them all. I mean, when I got let go the first time, PWG was like a major bucket list thing for me, and something I really want to do, and I got to do that. There's not much, you know. Like, I'm not even really looking to like travel overseas anymore because I like being home with my family. So, an Impact, you know, post-pandemic has really picked up the schedule from what it was. Like, when I first got let go, there was a lot of open space because of the way we were taping, but now there's really not. And then on top of podcast, you know, obligations, so not really. And I'm also getting kind of old where, like, being in the car and being in airplanes sucks a lot more than it used to. So there's that.
What advice do you give to young guys wanting to get into the wrestling business?
There's no, like, this is how you do it. You know what I mean? Everybody's got to put in the work and the time and the reps, and there's so much things about wrestling. Like, wrestling is truly an art, and I can show you how to do a suplex, right? You know, and that's just one physical thing, but it's like feeling it and believing it, and then just being there. You're putting in the time. Like, I tell guys all the time, like, you're not going to become a big famous pro wrestler by not leaving your town or your state. You got to get in the car, and you got to go 6 hours with whoever and maybe set up some chairs for the hope that maybe there's something for you to do in the show. Like, you got to really kind of do the grunt work to get there. And a lot of my guys that, like, you know, you wouldn't know it from his character, but like MJF, he's someone who did that. Like, he put in, like, literally that grunt work, that shitty stuff that nobody wants to do, and he did to get a little break here and a little break here, and those little breaks add up to a big break, and, you know, he's where he's at now.
All right, last one, guys.
So I know that a lot of people ask you what your favorite action figure is. What's your least favorite wrestling action figure? Like, what's one you just hate?
Any Mojo Rawley action figure absolutely sucks. No kid should ever get that. That's the worst present of all time. Would ruin a child's day. So, friends don't let friends play with Mojo Rawley action figures. I'm gonna leave you with that.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We going up like 1,000. I'm a flex just like a muscle man Malcolm. We going up like 1,000. I'm a flex just like a muscle man Malcolm. When it just like 1, 2, 3. If you like the channel, this will squeeze. If you like the channel, this will squeeze. If you like the channel, this will squeeze.